I'm a project manager in Mobility Lab in Forum Virium. After me, there is also Jussi Knuuttila speaking, and after that, Jukka Alander will speak. And if you have any questions, please share those with us after all three presentations, so in the end. And I would also ask the audience to keep their microphones and cameras off during these presentations. Okay, let's start. So Mobility Lab, it's a collaboration project of City of Helsinki and Forum Virium. First, our objective here is we are enabling, sorry, I'm missing my notes here. So we are enabling collaboration with different stakeholders and creating new projects and pilots in real life. We are developing the digital twin in mobility. And what is great here is that we have the whole city, the city of Helsinki, as a test bed in very practical testing and piloting of different kind of services and products. With this testbed activity, we want to enable real use cases in order to enable better services for Helsinki, but also to support new business. That is also a very important part of our role here. As said, Mobility Lab itself, it's project of City of Helsinki and project of Forum Virium. And here you can see the contact names for asking some more questions after this meeting. And now I think it's time for Jussi Knuuttila to start his presentation. Welcome, Jussi.
Okay, thank you, Jussi. So my name is Jussi Knuuttila. I'm the second Jussi in Mobility Lab Helsinki project. And today I will be briefly discussing what is agile piloting in the case of Forum Virium Helsinki and Mobility Lab, and then also talking about the current pilot call in general. So going a bit more into depth to the tender. But first, briefly about the agile piloting. So what happens first is that we focus the pilots with the city or other relevant stakeholders. So the pilots are based on the city's actual needs. And following this, we write the tender to fit the needs and launch an open call for pilots. And after this selection of pilots, we select the pilots for the implementation based on the criteria that I will also present today, and that is also available in the tender document. And then the actual agile pilots begin. So what we do is that we actively facilitate these pilots. This includes handling installations, getting permits to the city, and also providing other forms of support. And we are also strong, we have a strong focus in communication and increasing visibility as part of our activities. And this means releasing a news release to media about the pilot and its results, and also communicating through newsletters and our webpage. And After completing the agile pilots, we gather and share lessons and experiences, aiming to also scale up the pilots. And what is important here is learning and reflection and sharing experiences. And a bit more about the nature of the agile pilots. Our goal in piloting is to collaboratively learn and share insights gained along the piloting and along the way, but also to have a dialogue with companies, developers, and relevant stakeholders, and also creating broader understanding of potential new technologies at hand. And as part of the piloting program, well, same with this, this spring we will host a seminar in which the companies involved in the pilots, they will present their results and learned insights. And about the open call, so the deadline for the current open call is 4th of December at 4 o'clock Finnish time. So this is actually already next Monday. And companies with a valid European business ID are eligible to participate in the call, and consortia or teams are also permitted to submit tenders, so you can also form a team. And the tender process, as you might have noticed, will be conducted in both Finnish and English, so either language is okay. And yes, going to the budget. So our budget is a maximum of 45,000 euros. So that means that the highest cost for an individual pilot project is 15,000 euros, because in the total number of pilot projects is 3 this time around, with the understanding also that we may not choose any pilots at all. And we will be quite quick with the evaluation, so we will be completed already by 8th of December. And as the holidays are quickly approaching, we're aiming to start the pilot projects in January 2024. And participants must complete a specific electronic form to submit their bids. You can find this on Mobility Lab Helsinki's website. I believe many of you have already noticed it. And now going to the nature of the procurement. So what are we looking for? We have a bit of a broader scope this time around. So the objective of the pilot procurement is to serve the overall development of the city of Helsinki's digital twin. And this means to explore and test new methods, such as AI, for the information modeling of the current state of street environments and street asset management. And what is this? So later on, our technical specialist Jukka Alander will go more into detail to where we are right now and what are some of the challenges. And in the pilot call, we are looking for a wide range of solutions with high novelty value. Couple of words about the City GML3. It is the latest version of the city geography markup language. So the outcomes from the piloting will be utilized in the implementation of test data for the City GML3 street environment, and that would be next year in 2024. So this would be like a test piece for City GML3. And I believe Jukka is also going to mention City GML3 again, but more information about the standard can also be found online here. And the link is also in your tender documents. Okay, so I used Midjourney to create these pictures and sort of like talk about examples of themes, what the solutions could be. But of course, we don't really know. We want to hear from you what kind of solutions are available. But it could be, for example, a method for identifying and classifying street traffic conditions or equipment as 3D geospatial data for example, by using new AI methods to analyze the point clouds of a mobile laser scan to identify lanes and street equipment. So identifying lanes and street equipment. It could be a method for generating line data on the center lines of traffic lanes, for example, by developing an identification method based on point clouds from, again, mobile laser scanning for an open source application. It could be a method for supporting street equipment maintenance processes, like, let's say, a crowdsourcing traffic sign validation using mobile application. Or it could be a method for combining existing geospatial data into useful new data, for example, using mobile laser scans of the street space to refine street spaces in the actual city model. And the two last ones, there could be also development of the automatic classification of the point clouds of street and airborne laser scanning, for example, by cross-checking the consistency and quality of the classification of different data sets. And finally, enhanced viewing of street and city model data, which could mean improving the combined viewing of street view and city model data, for example, by developing methods for presenting 360-degree images on the city model presentation platforms, such as Cesium that is pictured here. And a little bit about the data. So of course, you can bring your own data or purchase a set of data, but that should be inside the 15,000 euro budget. But we will provide you with an opportunity to utilize mobile street space laser scanning and 360-degree street view data from Jätkäsaari area here in Helsinki. And this data has been generated by a previous Mobility Lab Helsinki pilot. And some of you have already done this, so a limited preview version of this data is available, and this is available before the end of the deadline for submissions. And you can reach out to Jukka Alander at forumvirium.fi for the sample data. And this complete data set will be exclusively provided to the chosen companies once the actual pilots start. I'm not going to go into great depth about the evaluation criteria. It's well written in the tender, but the evaluators from our side will base their selection of winning tenders on scores aligned with specific evaluation criteria. So the scoring process allocates 10% to price and 90% to a qualitative evaluation. And it will be weighted on these three different topics: novelty and innovativeness, 30%, feasibility, 30%, impact and effectiveness, 30%. And each criterion is rated on a scale of 0 to 10 points, and the maximum score for a tender is 100 points. So novelty and innovativeness, feasibility, impact and effectiveness, and then finally the price. Okay, we opened the call on November 8th, and all questions, inquiries regarding the call, they must be submitted in written form by December 1st, the morning of December 1st. And we will then post all the answers to the call's website. Also, the questions that are presented today we will post online, so you can go back and see them there. And the deadline for submitting the applications is, as said, December 4th at 4 o'clock Finnish time. And the evaluation process will be completed by 8th December. And then the agreements between Forum Virium Helsinki and the chosen service providers are expected to be finalized by the end of January, and the pilots then commence right after the holidays in January. And so what do we offer? We purchase the pilot as a service. It's an open invitation to tender. We offer the city of Helsinki as a testbed, as Jussi mentioned before, also contacts to stakeholders and representatives of the city, and of course support in the facilitation of the pilot, also technical support with our crew, but also with possible external experts from the city. References and also visibility and support in communicating about the pilots once they are going on. And I think this is my last slide. What is expected from the companies then taking part in the pilot? So the company implementing the pilot commits to sharing the following information with Forum Virium Helsinki and the city of Helsinki. So the data sets generated during the pilot will be shared with Forum Virium Helsinki, us, and the city of Helsinki, and if and as applicable with third parties. And this also considers City GML3 modeling and these kind of open data sets. Then, of course, preliminary information, so basic information about the pilot, its objectives and hypothesis and implementation plan. The resulting public data, so the main results of the pilot, key performance indicators and learned lessons and conclusions. And throughout the pilot, we will monitor the progress at the midpoint, final reporting at the end of the pilot, and post-evaluation approximately 1 year after the pilot's completion. And yes, that was it about the details of the pilot. Now I will give the floor to Jukka Olander.
Hello, I'm Jukka Olander from Forum Virium Helsinki, working as a technical expert. Let's get a bit more technical now. Here are the good examples of what happens regarding City GML3 in Helsinki. The middle link here is briefing of a similar pilot from last winter, and it has still very relevant information regarding to this open call. Please do take a look at these videos. So what happens in Helsinki in City GML3 currently? It's been used for buildings only, and as the new version supports the traffic environment, this is something we're looking into. We're still very early on, as the support in software for City GML3 is still yet to be developed. So this is piloting in the world's real sense. We are very early. So there are a lot of different data sets that can be enhanced with the different kind of data. And getting to know which is optimal source data for which data to be updated is something we learn all the time. And now that we have the mobility laser scanning data, it's very important to use that in addition to the more traditional GIS data we've had before. So street network BIM model or information model. This is what we have from public area registry in Helsinki, YLRE, Yleisten alueiden rekisteri. And on the right, example from Technical University of München, how the junctions and the areas should be defined. this is something that could be automated, something that could be one topic in this pilot. It's very simple source data to make the information models better in overall. As we remember that CityGMO 3 is able to represent traffic areas in various levels of details. So the way granularity here is the very basic level, and we can go to the lane level as well. So for this pilot, we have the cyclomedia dataset. It's very rare to have this kind of data. It's high density, and you have the possibility to request for the sample dataset before the open call closes. And there are also some images there. Also, a few of them are visible on Mapillary platform. And the specific thing here is that these are very high resolution images, 105 megapixels. And it's rare to have cyclomedia data open, but in this case, we have the licenses for that to be able to share it with you. So the raw mobile laser data with trajectories and images, that's what we have. That's what you have. And the city has already ordered traffic sign extraction from this data. And of course, all the open GIS data that is available is suitable for this pilot. And just to mention that during this summer, city obtained 1,300 kilometers of mobile laser scanning and 360 photographs from cyclomedia. So the dataset for the pilot is very similar to the, let's say, official dataset, which we don't have and city might not share. But just for you to know that there is a similar dataset that will be used, and we're looking to provide methods to extract important information from that. So it's time for questions. Jussi will get back here. Thank you.